Hey guys, alright, so I'm a little bit disappointed with the fact that I'm making this video. I was supposed to be doing an unboxing of the new Dual Deck Zendikar versus the Eldrazi, but thanks to the United States Postal Service, it's not here yet. And I've only uploaded one video this week, so, you know, this is kind of my, what do I do in this situation kind of thing. I've got 3 different decks from 3 different games written on parts of an index card. I've got a fighting, grass, and I've got 3 Pokemon decks, 3 Yu-Gi-Oh decks, and 3 Magic decks. Alright? It doesn't really matter what they are. I'm going to put them in a random shuffle system. Pull one out, and whatever deck it is what the video will be about. It's my dragon Pokemon deck. It's not really all dragons. It's fire, electric, and water. It just uses a lot of dragons. So give me a minute, I'll get that and be right back to the video. And I'm back. Alright, so I've got it sorted by, I don't have it sorted by type, but I have it sorted by what stage the Pokemon is. Except for the first 3, the first 2 are the main cards in the deck. I've got Rayquaza EX, that's really dark. Let me turn on a light, hope it doesn't get blinding. That should be enough. Alright. Rayquaza EX from XY Roaring Skies. He's a dragon type with 180 HP, a weakness of double damage received from fairy types, and a retreat cost of 2. His attacks are Dragon Claw and Dragon Strike. I'm not going to go into details about energy cost and effects. I'm just going to give you the names and the basic information. Dragon Claw does 30 damage, and Dragon Strike does 130. I've got Mega Rayquaza EX, a dragon type with 230 HP, the same weakness and retreat cost as Rayquaza EX. He's got an effect on him called Delta Wild. Any damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's grass, fire, water, or electric Pokemon is reduced by 20 after applying weakness and resistance. His attack is Dragon Ascent, and it does 300 damage. That's his signature move in the video games. So it's really cool that a lot of the new Megas have the same attacks as their video game counterparts. Now, anyway, back to the rest of the deck. We've got just this regular Rayquaza. I think he's from EX Deoxys, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know a lot of the sets like I used to. I've been out of Pokemon cards for like, I don't know, 2-3-ish years. And as with anything you learn in school, you know the longer you're away from it, the more you forget it. The more you forget it. Sorry, tongue-tied. Still not used to talking to people. Alright, now for the Stage 2 evolutions. We've got Salamence EX, a water type with 160 HP, a Pokepower that lets you turn it into a fire type. His attacks are Claw Swipe that does 60 damage, Dual Stream that does 80, but you can split the damage among different things if you want to. A weakness of double damage received from Colorless. He has a resistance to fire and fighting. He takes 30 less damage, and a retreat cost of 2. He's from EX Dragon Frontier. Yeah, Dragon Frontier. We've got a new printing of Salamence, a dragon type with 160 HP. He's from Roaring Skies, just like Rayquaza and Rayquaza EX. Rayquaza EX and Mega Rayquaza EX. His attacks are Shatter, it does 60 damage. Power Howl, that does 20 times the number of coins that land on heads when you flip. This attack does 20 damage times the number of cards in your opponent's hand. Never mind. Ignore my first thing there. He does extra damage based on your opponent's hand. I'm not used to that effect in this game. And Steam Blast for 170 damage. A double weakness to Fairy. He takes twice the damage. And a retreat cost of 4. Now we've got the Fire type Talonflame with 130 HP. And a double weakness to Water. No resistance or retreat cost. He has Ground Loop and Brave Bird. Brave Bird does 90 damage and then hurts Talonflame for 20. Next we've got all the stage 1s. And it seems that I got an update. Let's just ignore that. We've got Fletchinder, 70 HP Fire type with Peck Off, which does 10 damage. Double weakness to Water, no retreat or resistance. Manectric, 90 HP Electric type with Random Spark and Bite. Bite does 40 damage. He's got a weakness of double damage from Fighting type, a resistance of 20 less damage from Metal types, and a retreat cost of 1. We've got, I think this is a base set Gyarados. This is literally one of my oldest cards. He's got 100 HP Water type with Dragon Rage that does 50 damage and Bubble Beam that does 40. Double damage from Grass types, 30 less from Fighting, and a retreat cost of 3. If you couldn't already tell, this deck is not tournament legal, if they even still do Pokemon card tournaments, but whatever. Most games I just play casual anyway. We've got a newer Gyarados, a Water type with 130 HP, Tail Revenge for no energy to use it, 30 damage times the number of Magikarp in your discard pile, Wreck Havoc for 40 damage, and Dragon Beat for 100. He takes 30 more damage from Electric, 20 less from Fighting, and a retreat cost of 3. We've got a Dragon type Shelgon with 80 HP. Hold on, there's something stuck on my sleeve. There we go. 80 HP, Exoskeleton that reduces damage done to him by 10. You've got the attack Rolling Tackle for 60 damage. A double weakness to Fairy and a retreat cost of 3. We've got a Fire type Shelgon with Exoskeleton. Oh yeah, that's the same abilities on the other one. And Heat Blast for 30. Weakness to Colorless, takes double damage from them. 30 less damage from Fire and Fighting, and a retreat cost of 2. And we've got a Colorless Shelgon. Same weakness, resistance, and resistance and retreat cost as the Fire type. He's got Rage for 10 damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on him, and Rolling Tackle that does 40. The basic Pokemon in this deck consist of mostly legendaries. So I guess the proper term for this deck wouldn't be a dragon deck, it would be a legendaries deck, but we've got Keldeo, a water type with 90 HP, Rising Lunge, 20 damage plus 20 more if you flip a coin and get heads, Hydro Kick for 70, a double weakness to Grass, and a retreat cost of 1. Water type Manaphy, 70 HP, Call for Family, and Aqua Ring. Aqua Ring does 30 damage. He's got a plus 20 weakness to Electric and a retreat cost of 1. Regice, Clear body, he can't be affected by special conditions. He's a water type with 80 HP, and his attack is Icy Wind for 40 damage. He's got a double damage weakness to metal and a retreat cost of 2. Zapdos, an electric type with 80 HP, his attack is Thunderstorm. It does 40 and has an effect that takes up over half of his text box. He has no weakness, a resistance to fighting, and a retreat cost of 2. We've got Latios, 80 HP water type. Aqua Wave is his first attack, 10 damage, 10 base damage, and Dragon Breath, 50 base damage. Weakness to Colorless, 30 less damage from grass and fighting, and a retreat cost of 2. Latias with 70 HP. It's a fire type with Combustion for 20 damage and Super Singe for 40. Same weakness as Latios. A retreat cost of 1 and a resistance to Psychic and fighting. Victini from Roaring Skies. Apparently a lot of this is new. 70 HP fire type. He has Me First and Psybolt. Psybolt does 20 damage. He has a double weakness to water and a retreat cost of 1. Thundurus is a 120 HP electric type with Raging Thunder Punch, 30 base damage, and Lightning Slam, 100 base damage. A double weakness to fighting, a minus 20 resistance from metal, and a retreat cost of 1. Tornadus, 110 HP, colorless. I don't remember if they called them colorless or normal type or what, but I'm just going to continue to call them colorless. Push down for 20 base damage, and Twister Throw, 60 base damage. Double weakness to electric, minus 20 resistance to fighting, and a retreat cost of 1. Now sadly I couldn't put Landorus in here because that would be adding a 4th color, and I don't think the rules let you do that. So I've just got those two. Landorus is in his own deck. So we've got a promo Palkia, 90 HP water type, Spatial Rend for 10 base damage, and Transback for 40. You would assume Spatial Rend would do more since that's his signature move in the video games, but whatever. Apparently card games don't go by any logic. He takes 20 more damage from electric types and has a retreat cost of 2. Reshiram, 130 HP fire type, with Purifying Flame for 50 damage and Infusion Flare for 80. If you have Zekrom on your bench, Fusion Flare does extra damage. He has a double weakness to water and a retreat cost of 2. We've got the Dragon type Zekrom because the weird thing, I couldn't afford the, I think it was the electric type that came from the same set as Reshiram, because it was like $3 more than Reshiram, and it wasn't even really that, I don't know, it wasn't even mint. So yeah, that was just a weird thing. So I got this one. I'm not as pleased with it, but I'm glad it's a Dragon type. It's got 130 HP, Energy Stream for 30 damage, and Electric Ball for 100. He's got a double weakness to Fairy and a retreat cost of 2. I don't like that I have 2 different types for Reshiram and Zekrom. The thing I told you about not being able to afford the Zekrom that I wanted is pretty much the same reason I don't have the Dragon type Reshiram. It doesn't make sense that the two that are supposed to go together logically would be that varying in price if they're the same rarity and pretty much same condition, but whatever. At least I got some good stuff. By the way, there's a store on TCG Player, Epic Gaming. That's where I got most of these. Way good prices. If you're looking for cheap cards, and most of them are mint to near mint, definitely check them out. Very few things on there are lower than moderately played, and worse quality are few and far between. Sorry, that got a little bit wordier than it should have. I've got 2 white Curums. They're both the same, so I'm just going to show them both to you and then read from one. Because obviously if they're the same, it means they are literally the same. So it's a dragon type with 130 HP, damage rush for 20 base damage, cold fire for 80 base damage, a double weakness to dragon, and a retreat cost of 2. Same goes for Black Curum. I've got 2, I'm only going to read 1. 130 HP, Dual Claw for 20 base damage, Flash Freeze for 100 base, same weakness and retreat as White Curum. We've got the Dragon type Bagon, 60 HP, Leer and Almost Flight, does 30 damage and then 10 to itself. Double weakness to Fairy and a retreat cost of 1. We've got a Water type Bagon, 40 HP, no weakness, no resistance, 1 retreat cost. Granite Head does 10 base damage. Electrike, a 60 HP electric type. His attack is Bite, and it does 10 damage. Weakness, a double weakness to fighting, minus 20 resistance to metal, and a retreat cost of 1. A colorless Fletchling for 40 HP. His attack is Acrobatics, 10 base damage. A double weakness to electric, minus 20 resistance to fighting, and a retreat cost of 1. Magikarp, 30 HP water type, Flail, 10 base damage, and Dragon Rage, 60 base damage. He takes 10 extra damage from electric, and he has a retreat cost of 1. And the last Pokemon in the deck is another Magikarp. 30 HP, surprise attack does 10, and then his other attack is Ascension, that basically lets him evolve into Gyarados right away. A double weakness to electric, and a retreat cost of 1. We've got the stadium called Energy Stadium. Once during each player's turn before attacking, that player may flip a coin. If heads, that player puts a basic energy card from his or her discard pile into his or her hand. We've got Revive, put a basic Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. Max Revive, put a Pokemon from your discard pile on top of your deck. And Rayquaza Spirit Link. Your turn does not end if the Pokemon this card is attached to becomes Mega Rayquaza EX. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Electric Energy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Fire Energy. And I'm assuming 7 Water Energy. Yeah, 7 Water Energy. So that's my Dragon / Legendary deck. This video wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. I guess I only thought it would be because it's not what I had planned. I think I might be doing this kind more often, so be sure to look out. Catch you next time. Hopefully next time will be the video that was supposed to have been this time. Later.